Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. And we've got Greg McDaniel here, as always. We just came screaming off of another podcast recording for the Pursuing Results podcast. So if you're not already subscribed there, you should go immediately and do that because the shows are awesome. They've been awesome. We might talk a little bit about the content that we've been covering today because this is more of a potpourri episode, Greg. How's it going today?
Oh, man, I am living the freaking dream, brother, man. I mean, I had a just epic weekend. I had an awesome, redoing my house. Got to do some sleeping in. Followed up with a couple of clients today. And they went, okay, check this out. So any of you guys that watch me go live on Lead Gen Scripts and Objections page, and if you're not a part of that, immediately following the show, go and subscribe to the Facebook page. I'll let you in, either Aaron or I will. I did some cold calling, get my ass handed to me all last week. Then I scored on Thursday. I got a guy and went out and took a look at his property on Friday afternoon at 12:30. He was very standoffish and went back today with a final CMA. And he and his wife are fully just chugging ahead. Like, let's sell this place. Let's buy another house, all cash. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I totally accept this. So, a lot of fun. It shows that being persistent and consistent in regards to your prospecting and staying true to what's making you money does pay off, even if you meet a lot of dickheads in the process. Which you're gonna find some of them. But I'm just super pumped to get to work with Scott and his lovely wife Lisa, their grandparents. They have their grandson living with them who's in high school, going into college. So very unique scenario there, but very, very cool folks. So I'm happy if you couldn't tell. I'm in a chatterbox. Yes,
you are. It's really never mind. I'll just let that one go. Anyway, I would love to get into that because I was talking to the guy who's going to come on the show here in the next few weeks, a guy named Greg Lyles, who a lot of you may recognize from him being active and giving some of the most incredible and in-depth and accurate answers to questions on real estate Facebook groups that I've ever seen. And so I reached out to him about coming onto the show, and we got to talking about his career and some of the things that he's done. And we were talking about how so many people have this lack of clarity, and they chase the shiny objects. And I'd love to get into this conversation a little bit because what he was telling me is that he believes that people chase the shiny objects because they don't have a destination for their business. They don't even know where the business is going. When they got into the business, all they had was this vague idea of more money in less time, flexible schedules, and different things like that. Some people fall into the business as a career of last resort, which his term, not mine, by the way. But I think he's right, and I do see. What I don't want for the show is, yes, we want to give you ideas, and yes, we want to give you strategies and systems that are working for other people so that you know what's working out there. But at some point, like Greg has, you have to choose, and you have to focus, and you have to plow through resistance, and you have to keep working the method that you've decided on that works best for your personality, best for your business, and best for your area that you know is going to produce results, even though you may go through little troughs like, Greg, you were going through when you're getting your butt handed to you. And we've all been through those times, right? We've all been through those down times where we pick a lead generation method and we're into it and we're committed and it's not paying off.
It's not paying off, but the thing is let me think about it. So I got my ass handed to me for a full week, right? But there's 52 weeks in a year, right? And so if I get my ass handed to me for a full week, but then I get a lead that's a solid lead every week, that's potentially 50 to 52, maybe if you double it's a buy sell, it could be 100 and change deals if you're willing to go through the negativity. And a lot of times people don't look at it that way. They only look at the part of them getting their butt kicked, but they aren't looking at the part they should be pumped, man. They should be literally pumped. They're like, hell yeah, dude, I'm going to do like 50 to 100 deals this year just by doing cold calls and having people yell at me. Okay, that's awesome. You do 2 to 3 hours of calls a day. I guarantee you guys, does it sound fun? Hell no. Is it effective? Yes, it is. But that's where people fail out. I have a stat up here. 87% of all the training that someone goes through is lost in 90 days if you don't put it into action. So when you go get the woo-woo good feelings, rainbows and unicorns are flying out of your butt because you feel so good, you just came from a great conference and whoa, got a book. Now I'm going to go put it in action. But then you don't do shit with it. Guys, that's because you have no direction in your business. You're not actually treating it like a business. You're treating it like a job because you aren't making any forward progress into it because you don't know where the hell you're going. I mean, I have this, guys. I have my dream book that I have. Yes, it does receive is spelled wrong. Yes, we know this.
Actually, believe is also spelled wrong.
Yes, I know. I'm dyslexic. It's my personal book. It's my personal book, man. This way, I know that nobody can steal my book because nobody can be this wrong on a cover.
That's hilarious. I'm sorry, Greg. I have to laugh at that because it's so funny.
Oh, there's my friend, always there to pick me up on my down days.
I know. I'm always there to kick you when you're down and make fun of your learning disability.
Oh, you're drowning? Let me step on your head. Oh, there you go, Bubba. Bye-bye now. Okay. But you guys know what I carry this book around. I know exactly where I wanted to go. There's several things in this book that when I wrote down these specific things, they were not a reality in my life. But I wrote out my plan to where I want to be. And I have bigger goals, and they're always like this show. This show was not a reality. And I've told you guys about what I've written in my shower in red lipstick. It's my BHAG, my big, hairy, audacious goal. And it says, you know, I, Greg McDaniel, are going to have a net worth of over $650 million with more than $100 million in liquid cash at all times. I also wrote on there, I didn't write it, I just say it to myself. I, Greg McDaniel, have an award-winning, chart-topping, break-out-of-the-box success podcasts, TV show, and radio show that's going to inspire, educate, and entertain tens of millions of people on a monthly basis to achieve the dreams and goals so they can live their life, their perfect life. You know, my annual income is $50 million. I know exactly where the hell I'm going. Matt, you know, it'd be interesting, you know, if people could reach out to us, either message me or Matt on Facebook, and interact with us, guys, and let us know. Do you have your goals written out? Do you have a BHAG written out? Do you know where you're heading? Because right now, I bet you anything, the people that are watching us live and the people that are watching us on the replay, you're probably going, ah, shit, I knew I should write this whole goal thing out. Well, here, guys, you know what? You guys are all looking for this, right? Not the shut the fuck up button, but this is the easy button, okay? We're just going to take that away. The easy button in life. But if I could say, Matt, I'm going to give you 95% of, you know, what you want in life. I can give it to you at no cost. Would you be willing to do one action?
Sure.
Okay.
Depends on what that one action is. Please tell me what the one action is.
Taking a phone call from me every single day. No.
That sounds horrible. I don't know if I can do
that. No. So guys, it's writing your goals down and then reviewing them on a daily basis. But only sadly 3 to 5% of people ever write them down. But you have a 95% success rate to get everything you want. And it's just by reviewing and having your mind turning into a rudder and going towards your ultimate dreams and goals. And it just baffles me why, you know, things don't appear in people's lives. And then I look back and I ask them every single time, have you ever written your goals down? Oh, like in college. I'm like, well, that doesn't do shit for you. All right. You need to write it down and change it every single time. Jeff Latham has been on the show a couple of times, guys. He writes his goals down. This man doesn't just write his goals down. The man's a monster. He takes it and he has it on his phone. There's an app that every hour on the hour, an alarm goes off. He gets up and he reads his goals, guys. Imagine if you're trying to go from this side of the paper to this side of the paper in regard to a year, but then being able to take it and literally just go like that and make it almost happen instantaneously because of he knows exactly where he's going. He's very laser focused.
Yeah.
That's what I think a lot of people just don't do. I think they might be afraid of potentially the success. Sometimes people are afraid of success because then that takes away who they are. Because if they're always the guy or gal that's working on themselves, like the self-help individual or something like that, then once they get successful, are their friends and family going to look down on them? Are they going to be able? Are they afraid of not having a goal anymore? So if you guys don't know where you're going and you don't have a direction, are you afraid of who you'll become once you get there? And that's an interesting question to pose.
Yeah, I think some people are. Yeah, I think more people are probably afraid of the rejection that they'll face on the way there, and the pain of having to follow through on the commitments that they have to make. Which is why you get a lot of the shiny object syndrome. Yeah, they'll commit to one thing, or they'll try one thing, and we all do this. I'm not speaking because I've mastered this either, but we all try something. We commit to try something for a certain period of time, but when it gets really tough, or when we're just not seeing the results that we want, rather than giving it the time it needs for it to actually pay off, we shift gears and we try something else. And I noticed this in my own life, where, because I did this in music, I would notice like, hey, I'm getting into this and I'm working with this band, whatever, or this I'm working on this project, we're putting together this album. And then I'll start to get the sense that you're not getting the results that I want here. And then as soon as that happens, I internally started to question, is the end goal really worth it? In a lot
Yeah.
of cases, the answer is no. So I was putting myself in various projects because I was hedging my bets. I had an overall goal, which was to be a successful professional musician at that time. We're talking about years ago, but I was kind of hedging my bets and putting my work into several different things rather than focusing on really one thing that I thought had a legit shot at making it. And so as a result, my efforts were scattered. I really wasn't focusing deep, and I wasn't putting, like Grant Cardone would say, I wasn't putting the 10x effort in to make any one thing successful. And I would look at the various projects and I would go, okay, well, what's the payoff at the end?
Hmm.
And I would project outwards and I'd go, it's not worth the effort. It's not worth stepping up the effort to make this more successful, and so I need to cut it off. Which that part's fine, but you can't continually do that in everything that you do. At some point, you have to commit to something, and that end goal, that big why, has to be big enough that it pulls you through the times when it doesn't look like it's working, and you have to keep persevering. There's a great example. So on the lead gen scripts and objections page, this is posted this morning, Mario Mormile, and maybe I'm butchering that name, it could be Mormila, said, I officially landed my first appointment through the Mojo Dialer today. It was my first time using the software, and I made 149 calls,
Hmm.
talked for 31 minutes, ran the dialer for an hour and 25 minutes, and landed one appointment. Going on that appointment this afternoon, this is a total game changer for me. Someone asked what he did. He did circle prospecting, pulled the data up from Mojo Neighborhood Search. He's essentially doing exactly what you do yourself and what you teach people to do.
Yeah, no, he and I have been communicating. He actually hit me up on a text about that, or Facebook
Oh,
message
nice.
about that. And so I was super pumped for him. And we got another guy named Juan. He did the same thing. I know Stevie is going to be doing some calls. I know that Neely, got out there and has been hustling into her marketplace and got the #1 listing agent of the month or first month out. So we all are going to leverage these different technologies, but every one of these people I just mentioned, also who I've interfaced with, they all have a goal. They all know where they want to be, right? And I think that's really, really, really powerful. But yeah, I'm super pumped for Mario. That's super awesome for him, dude. Super, super awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and I was talking to there's a really interesting coach that we're going to bring on the show probably December, and his whole approach is to help people solve their own problems, and I love that approach because one of the things that I want to bring to the show more is, like, Greg, you're really, really good at taking somebody through the McDaniel challenge and helping them figure out what their superpower is and then
Hmm.
focusing in on it. Unfortunately, we can't do that at a mass level, right?
No.
It's a very individual process, right? Uh,
Hmm.
what this guy is going to share on the show is he's going to talk about the process of how to solve your own problems, right? How to get clarity on your own by going through certain steps and asking yourself certain questions. Because what I don't want for the podcast is I don't want this show to be just a list of things that you want to do that you don't have time to do, and you feel the pressure that you should be doing all these things. And I don't
Right.
want the show to give you that impression. That's one of the issues that I have with church, for example, not to get super deep. But essentially, people, millions and millions of people show up to church every Sunday morning, and all they walk out with is a sense that, oh, there's another 5 things I need to do. There's another 5 things I need to pay attention to. No, that's not the answer. So I don't want people to walk away from the podcast feeling like they need to do all these things. It's cool to talk about ideas. It's cool to talk about options and tactics and things like that. But at some point, you have to start with yourself. Look at what's best for you and the prospecting that works best for your personality. What type of business do you want to build? What type of lifestyle do you want to build?
Hmm.
And then you have to build a kind of a business plan around that. And then you have to stick with that business plan, and you have to focus on it long enough for it to actually work. And what
Yeah.
I don't want the show to be an excuse for people to constantly be trying different things, because Greg, as well as I do, you have your one thing that's the engine of your business. All the other stuff that you talk about trying on the show revolves around that engine. You don't compromise the engine of what works for you.
No, and for me, that's cold calling. You do circle prospecting, and for me, that works incredibly well. Although I'm going to, this next year, Matt, I'm going to take it and I'm going to build onto this thing because I'm a reasonably interesting person to talk to, I believe. That's what I tell myself.
I really can't confirm or deny that. I don't want to give you a big head.
But I'm going to add in, like I talk about the 60-day challenge. You know, going out to a Starbucks, getting my cup of coffee. I don't know what the fuck I just did in my hand, but it feels like I broke my damn freaking thumb. I don't know what I did. Oh my God, it hurts. But I'm going to start going out. I'm going to blend in, you know, what I talk about. I'm going to go make time to go and meet new people and try to hand out. Well, no. Hand out 25 business cards every single day.
Try just escape your lips, Greg.
I did not have to push it back in. No trying. No. So I'm going to go that. I'm going to do that. I'm also doing videos. I'm going to realtytimes.com and I'm doing a video every single day on buyer, seller, homeowner advice, some new video on something, posting that on Facebook. Still kind of sloppy with it. I'm not quite sure how this whole thing is going to work, but you know, I'm getting 500, 700 views on these things. So, you know, maybe that's going to help. That's the high tech side of it. But I have a goal. I want to do 40 to 50 deals myself, not my team, but just me this coming year, you know, in 2017. So I'm going to ramp up and change my way of going around it. Now, do I know how the hell I'm going to do 40 to 50 deals? Hell no. Are you freaking kidding me? But you know what? I'm going to do it and I'm willing to do anything about it to try it. So, you know, I mean, I hopefully you guys will be able to do the same thing and be able to put a line in the sand and just that's your goal. I mean, this is it. No more bullshit. Just you're going to go out there and make it happen. So, I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about setting goals and then sticking to them and reviewing them and everything else. But I mean, do we have any questions, Matt, that we have from lead gen?
Yeah, we do. There was another one there was something that caught my eye here from John Maisano Sr. Said, hey, I'd like the input from the group. In your opinion, what are the top 5 questions you like to ask a prospect during the pre-listing interview?
Oh,
so Greg, when you're pre-qualifying somebody for a listing appointment, before you saddle up the Mercedes and head out there, before you put my
Nazi sled,
your Nazi sled. Oh God, I was going to go a completely different direction, but sure, why not? Your Nazi sled. I was gonna go more of a throwing some victuals in the saddlebags, some beef jerky and some, you know,
some granola and just ready to go.
Granola, yeah, and making the trek across your great land there of traffic, because I'm guessing it takes you 4 or 5 hours in that traffic to get anywhere.
It sucks, yeah.
Yes, I think you got to take like Starbucks, a giant big gulp water bottle, and possibly like some military rations. just in case you break down along the way, you want to die out there.
Just get the other side of Danville, yeah, it's a biz.
Yeah. So before you go through all of that to show up to somebody's house, and Greg, you actually have a 2-step listing kind of process, right? You're showing up with the intention on that first appointment of not even taking the listing. Your intention is to meet them and see the house, and then you close on the second appointment, right? So what are you asking them on the very first appointment? Do you go through a ton of pre-qualifying, or does that happen more at the house?
It happens at the house because I want to be at the house. I want psychologically, I want them to feel in control of their surroundings. I don't want it to make it a third party. I don't want them here in my office. I want them on their turf so that then I can. I mean, there's a whole series of things that I do to give them psychologically the advantage over me. Even though I'm controlling the entire situation and scenario because I'm consistently asking questions. He or she who asks the questions in a conversation controls the conversation. Yeah. So I'm always asking. One of the things that I come right off the bat and I ask folks, you know, why are you folks thinking about making a move? You know, what is prompting this? Because I want to get a hold and understand, you know, what's their true motivation? Are they just wasting my time? Are they just looking for numbers for a refi, or, you know, what, right? So what's the real reason? When would they like the process to, you know, when they start the whole process of selling the home or buying the home, doesn't matter whichever side, probably selling the home. Because then I can understand, you know, what level of, you know, energy I need to put behind it. Like I was talking to you about earlier today, Matt, you know, the guy, Scott, that I went out and did a CMA on Friday. And then I went out again today. First time I talked to him, dude, he was cold as a brick, man. He was just like stonewalling me. kind of being a dick, but he was just being a dude and just trying to, show me that this is his area and he wasn't going to be pushed around. And I backed off and I was totally fine with it. But then today, he and his wife are like, dude, we're going to drive around, look at houses. We're going to look at areas. We want to buy here. We want to do this. We're going to take all the cash. We're going to pay all cash on the next house. I'm like, well, shit, there's a total flip, because I just asked questions to him the entire time. So here are the questions. Very long answer to a very short question. What's their timing? What's their motivation? Have they seen anything that they like? What was their last experience with a real estate agent? And what do they expect from me, like in communication wise? Do you want to email, call? Who's the best? Timing? How often do you want me to communicate with you? Those are the questions I ask these people every single time, just so I know that where their expectation is. Usually the last experience with a real estate agent was probably pretty shitty. All right. So my goal is to make that better in every way possible. And I sell my team and our communication and blah, 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 all the rest of my scripts I do. But those are the 5 questions I asked.
Gotcha.
What are you seeing with like Jeff and a couple of the other guys? What are they doing?
Well, so I was talking to Aaron about this the other day because we're putting together his expired mastery course. So if you're in the lead gen scripts and objections group already, you may have seen this because he just posted about it today. But so a couple hours ago, Aaron posted the link. We've only got 2 slots left for the first run. Those actually may already be filled up, but anyway. So I was talking about the pre-qualification. So he uses a modified Mike Ferry kind of script, but he actually does try to heavily pre-qualify them before he heads out. Now here's the caveat to that. Usually that's not taking place on the very first call he's making with them, right? So if he gets on a call and they're ready to roll, they're ready to meet with him, then he'll do some lighter pre-qualification, but he's not doing as much. He's like, look, let's just set the appointment and get on with it. But if it's scheduled on a follow-up call to where he's just kind of, following up with them and then they're ready to meet, then he'll take them through more of an in-depth pre-qualification. But it's probably, we'll get it. I have to save some of that stuff for the course, but
gotcha.
Yeah, but it is. You can find the scripts out there from Mike Ferry is a great example. And if you take people through those those scripted questions, it's a pretty good start. But that is a pretty good a pretty big part of Aaron's process. I know that. Other people I've worked with, depends on their listing process, which is why Greg, I asked about yours, because everybody that has a one-step focuses more on pre-qualifying before they show up, because they want to show up with the intention of taking the listing, right? We're talking about the guys that are closing, 85% of their listings. They're doing such a great job of pre-qualifying before they show up that they know that if they just do a great job at the listing appointment, that the person is ready to sign up, and it's just a matter of closing the deal and talking price. And so what that's doing, though, is you're eliminating people and you're saving yourself some of the rejection before you show up to the appointment by just getting it out of the way on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So it's, to a certain extent, when you hear people talk about their listing closing percentage, yes, they're very good. Yes, they're great in the listing presentation, but that also comes back to they're also great before they even show up to the listing presentation.
Yeah, they figure out what their true want, needs, and desires are, right?
Exactly. Narrowing down whether they're actually an ideal client or not. And that's something that we all have to do a better job of. I have to do a better job of it. The more questions that I ask, it's funny because once you start working with somebody in an ongoing business relationship, you realize questions that if you would have just asked them a couple of follow-up questions or asked them to go deeper on some things, you would have gotten down to their real motivation a lot quicker.
Well, that's I call it the 3. I call it the 3 deep. Or 5 deep. You have the initial answer. Why are you guys making a move? We're making a move because of job transfer or change of life, whatever. And you ask 3 more questions, why, or whatever they're going to be, to get down to that next level, like an onion. Keep peeling those layers away, because you want to once you get down to the middle and the core, and you figure, oh, okay, this is really why you're selling. Yes, you got a great job opportunity, but really why you're taking this job is because you're getting closer to your family who you haven't seen in 10 years, and you really want to get, you want to get back over to that. You want to live in Nebraska. I don't know why you want to do that.
I don't know why either. I've made that move and will never do it again.
Yeah, you went west, man. Good man. I do have a seller questionnaire here with a couple of questions. That's what I was digging around for. And the
Mhm.
questions are right here. So I'll rattle through them really quickly. Where are you going to be moving to? The second one is how soon do you want to move? Third one is what price do you think your home is worth? And the reason why I like number 3 so much, because everybody has their own idea of what they think their home is worth. And that's where really the Achilles heel is for a lot of real estate agents. They don't stay in a state of curiosity. They start dictating to the potential client, sometimes not in the nicest of ways either, because they're like, well, I'm an agent, I know everything. Well, bullshit. You don't know shit, homeboy. 90% of the time. It's better to understand, because what if Matt Julian is 3 obese little wood denting babies? What if Matt was off his damn rocker more than he usually is? And let's say he lives in a 3-bed, 2-bath house. God, that'd be tight, dude. 3 little fat little babies. Jesus.
I know. Just their steel reinforced triple bunk beds. It's enough to that's put some stress on the foundation.
They're like little semi trucks in the morning. They're backing, the whole backing up for the bathroom.
Well, I have beepers installed on all of them.
Red blinking like.
Sometimes it's confusing because all 3 of them are moving backwards and/or forwards at different times, and so I can't quite tell.
Mentally or just physically? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, talking about what they think their home is worth. Here's a trick, guys, that my dad's going to kill me for doing this, but I think it's amazing. He gets a piece of paper out and we have it written up. We have Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Realtor.com. Okay. Then we have equals price. And then we go to the sites and we write down the different prices of what these different sites are saying the home is worth. Right. And then we have at the bottom, this is, what your real home worth is. And it's obviously blank. Then we have above that, we say, what do you think your home is worth? And that visually gives them, because they went to Zillow, Redfin, all the rest of these sites, and they're looking at the value of their home. They're either going thumbs up, thumbs down, or it's kind of in the middle. So get an idea of where they're coming from, because if you can identify up front if they're absolutely batshit crazy, or if they're reasonable and realistic, that's gonna save you so much time. Because if Matt and Julie are completely Looney Tune and they think their home is worth $1.5 million, when in reality it's only worth like 700. They're never going to be happy with you, ever, no matter what you do. Okay, even though you can be the best agent on planet Earth, their expectations are here. They're false. You need to bring them back down to reality and move forward from there. So, ask what the home is worth, what they feel their home is worth, and then ask them what do they owe on the property. So you can talk about netting, what they're going to net out, what kind of proceeds they're going to look at. That therefore, in turn, takes them into what they can buy on the other side, so on and so forth. Have you ever thought of selling your property yourself? Again, another really good question, because their sisters, aunts, boyfriends, veterinarians, best friends, once removed, cousin's mom sold a home in 76, and she said, "Oh, it's easy, Cupcake. You can do it on yourself." Yeah, first off, Cupcake, it's not that easy. All right, selling homes is not easy. And again, you're getting in the lay of the land for them mentally, because if they think they can do a better job than you, you're going to be fighting with them every step of the way. Instead of having you be on the same side with them, you're going to kind of be an opponent to them. Number 6, are you interviewing any other agents? If so, who? Most of the times they won't tell you, which I don't understand why. Number one thing,
most homeowners only interview 2 people. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even know if they're going to interview somebody else.
Right? Or
when you're asking them the question.
Right. A lot of the folks, I encourage them, say, if you guys want to do, interview some other folks, by all means, please do so. And then allow me just to have a secondary meeting with you after you've done the other interviews. Let me just have a secondary meeting with you, and I can address anything that you'd like to discuss at that point. I just ask for the secondary follow-up. Let's see here. How did you happen to call our team? We want to know how the marketing is working, because then that's going to talk to us. Are they old school, new school, the high tech, high touch? Where are they going to be looking at? Because then they're going to have a higher expectation on that front for marketing their home, even though they're crazy and they're like, "Oh, I looked at you in the newspaper." Dude, we haven't done the newspaper in like 10 years. Okay. It's paper. Shit is outdated the moment it's printed. How prepared are you to start marketing your property when our team meets with you? And people, because we need to make sure that they're all going to be on board and ready to show the property, get the buyers in, so on and so forth. And can you finance potential buyers. Basically, can you carry a little bit on that, or take a on the loan or whatever else, become an investor on your own property? But they probably need to take it and run with it and take it to the next level, or the next home. And then finally, number 10. Do you have any questions you would like our team to answer before we come out? And these are all, you can use this, it was all just a phone interview too, but you can also change that before you leave. Hey guys, are there any other questions that I can answer for you that I may not have addressed, or you would like me to address even deeper or more in depth?
All right. Now here's an interesting question to potentially add on to that, inspired by what I'm about to read you. So the question would go something like, do you have anybody that you trust that's advising you on this process, where someone from either in your family or outside the family that you just really respect their opinion and you're kind of running things past them? And here's why. Trina Gonzalez Van says, I showed a property which seemed to be a great fit for my clients. We decided that before we'd write an offer, we'd check zoning and grading, because my clients have specific needs for their business in addition to living, and they have to fit together. So anyway, they love the house, the grading might fit, but today I found out that they have a, quote, trusted advisor who thinks the house isn't a fit. I have no problem with that, but since I've never met this person, I asked questions and I suggested that they bring that person along to their appointments. Well, it turns out the advisor is, because it's California,
oh God,
a psychic.
A psychic?
Totally thrown off guard. Has anyone ever dealt with this? Yeah. I'm trying to see. Is this actually
pound sand?
Pound sand. It says they're in Fontana.
Oh well, that's inland, isn't it? Isn't it Inland Empire?
Okay,
but that's absolutely batshit, dude. The psychic is not psychic. He sees more. What that guy sees is more income for him.
Yeah, that's what Peter Daniels would call a power holder.
Oh,
someone
God.
that has the right, someone who has the authority to say no, but no authority to say yes, and all they do is just sit back and say, "I don't know about that. I don't."
Your credit card cleared, so
I don't feel like that's the best move for you. But then when you actually ask them to say, "Okay, what should we do?" strangely silent.
It's not clear to me yet. Please swipe your credit card again.
Yeah, exactly.
There it is. It's coming to me now.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that, but that is a hard one to sniff out. But I don't know how you would sniff it out other than asking that question. Hey, do you have someone that's advising you on the process that you really trust, that you respect their opinion, and you're kind of running things past them? That's the only question I can think of that would expose that early on, and they would say yes. And you would say, okay, well, who is that person? Is it like a relative? Is it someone that used to be in the real estate business? Are they like a real estate attorney? And they'd go, no, it's my spiritual advisor.
Ugh.
And then you would know. And
First,
then you would say, all right,
I'm done.
I'm out, washing my hands, walking away.
You're batshit crazy. I don't deal with batshit crazy. I gotta go. That's what dating life is for. No, that you really can't. You really cannot see that one coming. But then at that point, you turn around and you have to have an honest conversation with that buyer and be like, are you going to look to them for advice on this transaction, or would you like to trust me, a real estate professional, and with a fiduciary relationship to make sure that I do the highest and best ability for you and get the price, get the home for the lowest and best price and best terms? Which one do you want to listen to? Because you can't listen to both. Except they're like, well, the psychic, I really think there's a lot there. Well, then you got to look at them, see how much tie-dye they're wearing, and if they have crystals around their neck. And then if they are, pull the ripcord and bail.
Pull the ripcord, hit the ground running, and take off.
And never look back.
All right, so let's deal with this other question, because this is a good one. Vince Reyna says, I've been using primed seller leads with Facebook ads for a few months to generate seller leads, and I've had a lot of leads come in. I've also been on appointments, but so far no listings. It seems that most aren't ready, or they're still upside down in their mortgage. So here's my question. Is this normal for online seller leads?
Well, Matt, you can take a run with that. I mean, talk about your, the on average, 33 leads and with the time frame and all that
Well,
stuff.
those are all buyer leads. So yeah, so if we're talking about buyer leads, the average conversion on a pay-per-click buyer lead is 1 out of every 33. It's 3%.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a gal on the show, on the team building podcast, I should say, not this show, but the team building podcast, who was sharing how when she came into a team at one point, she managed to get their lead conversion from 0.9% to just over 3%. That
Wow.
was for buyer leads, and seller leads I feel like are not much different, but it is going to vary by market, and Facebook ads I have heard from various sources are either really good or, in Jeff Cohn's opinion, are much less high quality than you get from a pay-per-click ad from Google, because they're not specifically searching for information on what you are selling them. You're catching them while they are interacting socially. So you really have to take some of that with a grain of salt. Facebook ads can be effective in generating numbers of leads, but the jury is out on whether the quality of the lead is as good as pay-per-click. But what I really want to drill down to is if they're converting into appointments, Greg,
Mm-hmm.
they're interested enough to take an hour of their time, at least in their mind, an
Mm-hmm.
hour of their time to allow a salesperson into their home.
Right.
They're interested in doing something. They don't let you come
Something.
over because they expect you to actually take 5 minutes, take a quick run through their house, drop off a CMA, and leave. Nobody in their right mind expects a real estate agent to do that.
No.
So having someone over for a listing appointment is like allowing a Kirby salesman into your home. If you do that, you shouldn't. If you don't know what's going to happen, you should know better, and you just haven't. You have not had that happen to you yet. But if you've ever sold or been involved in real estate before, you don't allow a salesperson in your home for no reason. So if somebody's going on listing appointments and they're not getting the listing, what's the next step to look at in terms of improving their conversion percentage?
They need to start looking at the questions that they're asking, how you're interacting with these other people. Are you turning them off or making them fearful for one reason or another? Are you not addressing certain concerns that they're having? Are you trying to be either? Are you not looking at their personality types? Are you just not mirroring and matching, and you're just your own bulldog self and just push them through the meeting when the other person wants to tell you about all their freaking carpets and drapes and paintings and pictures of the grandkids, but who no one really gives a flying blank of that, all that bullshit. But you know what? I'll sit there and I'll suck it up and take one for the team. If I have to sit there and listen to Gam Gam talk about our kids for a while, okay, I'll listen to Gam Gam talk about our kids and our grandkids, because you need to make them feel important. You're obviously, you're not connecting with them. You're not bringing and showing enough value to that individual to propel them to make the next step forward with you. Everyone always talks about closing a listing appointment. It's not closing. Guys, I've said this over and over and over. It's about opening, bringing value right out of the gate. What can you do to make their lives more benefit? What can you do to benefit their lives instantaneously so that they view you as a trusted resource? Also, look at your verbiage and your timing. I did who was it that had this? But you don't get business. Your timing on when to ask for business is critical, and it has to be after you brought value to that other person's life. I tested this about last year at an open house, and it was phenomenally interesting. What it was is that I would go up, Matt, Julie, and your three obese little wood denting babies came through, those little orcas, and as they were just herding towards the kitchen for the free sandwiches, I would pretend I would ask Matt and Julie, hey guys, if you're working with a real estate agent, here's my card, we should work together. 9 times out of 10, Matt and Julie, they wouldn't do anything because I didn't bring any value, right? So, and then I did it in the end of the conversation when they were leaving. Hey guys, here's my card. Are you working with anybody? No, great. Let me get your information. I would get almost every single one of those people because I've already brought something of value to them. So it could be timing. There's a whole variety of things. I'm using PSL right now, Prime Seller Leads. I have employed a ISA team out of Sacramento, and they said they can do some pretty cool stuff. So if I can get them to start getting me listing appointments, guys, we will bring them on the show and talk about them. But yeah, PSL, a lot of the times that people are looking to wait. So it is like a bottle of wine. You guys got to let it sit and, kind of ferment, and you'll get better in about 18 months is what I found.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way around boosting focusing on boosting your sales skills, because if you're getting appointments and you're not getting the deal, it really just comes down to either you're going on the wrong appointments, or when you show up to the appointments, the skills just aren't there, which is fine.
Yeah,
We've all been there, you know.
I've never been there, Matt.
Shut up, Greg.
Shut up, Greg.
All right, so one last question. I think that will have to do it for today. So Jonathan Byram asks, are there any other sources to locate names and phone numbers for circle prospecting besides the paid sources? Greg, what is wrong with that question?
Tons, dude. You want shit for free, homie. That's not how this is. That's not how this is gonna run. You know what? Suck it up, Buttercup. Pay the damn fee. It's $300 for the year for Mojo for, you know, name, number. You know, you can call these people. You can put them into your database. Cole Realty is another really good resource for it. Split it with somebody, for God's sake, if you don't have the coin to do it right now. But I mean, you're gonna pay for what you get. So if you want free, you're probably gonna get crap. And there's going to be a lot of hunting and pecking. You don't want an information aggregator where the information is already there, so you can just go to work. Your job is not to hunt and peck and try to find the cheapest possible thing. This is not the dollar store here, okay? You're not, because you get shit at dollar stores. I mean, they're fun to play around with, but it's not where you're going to go to get a really nice pair of shoes, a belt, a pair of pants, or anything else. This is kind of crap stuff, but that's why it's $1. So if you want the good content, or good contact information so that you can spend your time talking to the right people, pay the money, pay it, you know, pay for the time, pay for the right usage of products, aka Mojo. I was talking with someone today, and they were talking about, you know, Espresso versus, you know, Vulcan versus, you know, Mojo. And I told her, I'm like, look, just pay for Mojo, just do it. I know that it will work. And you know what? You do a half of a deal, it's going to pay for itself for the entire year. Okay, it's not a big investment for you guys. I think it's like $1,500 or maybe less than $2,000 for the entire year. And if you use that thing every single day, it comes down to pennies a day, literally pennies a day, for you guys for it to make sense. So that's a really long-winded answer, Matt.
Yeah, it works. I like it. Well, we completely forgot to give any shout-outs, so let's do that real quick. So first of all, go to our website, McDanielRealEstateSystems.com. There's two things I want you to check out. Number one is absolutely free. It's Greg's favorite scripts, and it's got all of his favorite stuff for buyer lead follow-up, seller lead follow-up, even down to getting price modifications out of an existing client. All of his favorite scripts, including links to videos where I actually sat Greg down and I made him record each script in painstaking detail so that you can hear the phrasing and the tonality so that you can mirror and match and get it right. So that's on the website. It's on the right-hand side. It's Greg's favorite scripts. And then the training course also is right below that. So that's where we went into farming and how to select your geo farm, what you should look for in your farm area, how to prospect it from cold all the way to hot, outbound, you know, everything from running events to doing phone calls, where Greg goes super deep on outbound prospecting with circle prospecting, the Mojo dialer, to running events for, you know, past clients and people in your neighborhood farm, what kind of events you can attend in your farm area, and literally just everything under the sun related to farming and prospecting is all in that training course. So go check that out. That's 99 smackers for a ton of content. That is ridiculously dirt cheap for having Greg, for the pain that I had to go through to sit Greg down and extract that, like squeezing a sponge over a sink. That's what I had to do with Greg's brain. So I had to do that was hours upon hours upon hours. So go get that at the website. And then Greg, tell us about the McDaniel Challenge, where people can also get the amazing benefit of your incredible knowledge and expertise sometime a year from now.
Oh man, you're not kidding about that. So McDaniel Challenge, guys, is 1 to 2 hours of free, capital FREE, free, no strings attached, guys, coaching where anything that's stopping you, blocking you, or holding you back from living the life you guys want to live, guys, sign up for the McDaniel Challenge. Guys, I mean, it's absolutely batshit crazy how far out in advance we are. I mean, I am August 23rd of 2017. August 23rd, 2017 is my next availability. It's crazy town. But I do it because I absolutely love you guys beyond belief. I see so many amazing people in this business that fail out because they didn't get that opportunity to have one conversation with someone that may, like me, who may have just been around the block a few more times than you, because I've been in the business for a while. My father has been in the business since they've been at dirt. But I mean, I've just been around a lot of really smart people, and I've been able to glean a lot of information off of them. I want to get everything I can back to you guys. We do it at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys want to do that, you can contact me on my cell phone. My private cell phone number is 925-915-1978, or follow me on Facebook, you guys. I notice I use the word follow, not friend, because Facebook's a dick and won't let me have any more friends. But if you guys would follow me there, message me there on Facebook Messenger, we'll get you guys booked up ASAP to take the McDaniel Challenge. And speaking of that, I don't have enough time for everybody, but here are a few of the folks that I've been able to talk with lately. Stevie, David, Juan, Neely, of course, you rock star, Mr. Phillips, Greg, Justin, Loli, oops, kind of fuck that one up, Jose, Mrs. Miller, Dan, John, Timothy, Ismail, Jennifer, Sam, Forel, Howard, again, another Jennifer, Miguel, Michael, Chris, Lena, TJ, Colby, which, by the way, Colby's a girl. I didn't know this. And then I'm like, yeah, dude, what's up? I'd love to get you on the challenge.
Only ever heard Colby being a girl's name, but okay.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm actually a chick. I'm like, oh, sorry.
What's up, bro?
What up, homeboy? Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's not gonna work for me. I'm like, oops. But thanks for all you guys that are getting booked up. Also, God damn it, Mr. Darcy, Robert, TJ, and Howard are the last few of the guys and gals that we're doing some trainings on. Not trainings, but bookings for. So
yeah.
Oh man, we're blessed and beyond belief. You guys are amazing human beings. So thankful that you guys come and hanging out with both me and Matt, 3 days a week. And let's get some more times booked up for the McDaniel Challenge, guys. I want to see you guys succeed more than you can ever imagine.
That's right. All right, and then coming up on the show, on Wednesday, we've got an amazing business coach based here in San Diego. She just came off of speaking at Harvard. Her name is Asha Mankowska. She built 2 successful businesses in Europe before coming over here to the beautiful land of San Diego. So she's going to be with us on Friday, and then we've got Dale Archdecken from Philly Living. So this is Noah Ostroff's team, and Dale is the guy that manages all their ISAs, and he's also doing this for some other teams. And so we're going to go deep into how to manage an inside sales agent or team of sales agents for you. And so if you ever thought about hiring somebody to make calls on your behalf, watch this episode. Greg, you've done it. Awesome. You've stopped doing it. You've done it again. You've stopped doing it again. You've hired someone in your office to make phone calls. So anybody that's done that and gone through some of the roller coaster ride that you've gone through, Greg, needs to watch the show on Friday. And then actually next Wednesdays, obviously we just had Lee Barrison on the show. Lee is a viewer of the show. Next Wednesday we have Andres Segovia, who we met at CAR in Long Beach. He's also a viewer of the show, and he's going to talk about some new technology. He's a tech blogger in addition to being in real estate, and so he's going to share that. So just because you may be in the audience, you may be on the show.
If you want to. You have to reach out.
That's right.
Reach out.
Exactly. Speaking of reaching out, so follow us across all platforms. I am Pursuing Results. Best place to connect with me is on Facebook. Friend me, follow me, I don't care, or like the Pursuing Results LLC Facebook page for all of the content related to the new podcast, the Pursuing Results podcast, where we interview successful people about one book that changed their life. That's the new show. So guys, go like that on Facebook so you get all of that amazing content. Connect with me. That way you can message me and bug me during the show with questions, and we love for you to do that. And then follow Greg. And then on Snapchat, Greg, I just booked a guy to talk about Snapchat. He just wrote a big article on Inman News about it. Cool. And so why don't you give out and remind everybody how to connect with you on Snapchat?
Yeah, guys, REU444 is my Snapchat handle. Go ahead and follow me there, guys. But just Facebook is the easiest way for you guys to get a hold of me. Go follow me on Facebook right now. It's going to be a life-changing event. It's going to be the best decision you've ever made.
That's right. The heavens will open. Doves may appear, so be sure to have an umbrella. You may get pooped on.
Oh God. Oh, guys, if you guys want to see a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, go to Lead Gen Scripts and Objections Facebook page. Join it right now. We're just about 29 or 28,000 people, 29,000 people in there. We're going to look to grow that thing to 30 to, probably 50,000 by the end of next year. But I do live Facebook. I do live video into Facebook, doing live circle prospecting calls. So if you guys are thinking about doing this thing and you guys are still pussyfooting around the idea, stop being a little bitch. As Grant Cardone would say.
That's right.
Just go over there, watch what I do. You'll see how informal it is and how much fun I have messing around and talking and calling people. And then hopefully it will take away a lot of the fear that you may or may not be having, so that you guys can go out there and start just kicking ass, taking names, and putting some more coin into your pocket. So,
gotcha.
Wow, that's a lot of self-promotion.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're done with that. All right, guys. We're going to put a ribbon on this one. Be sure to join us on Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube, depending on whether you want the video or audio versions. And that's it. We're done.
We're done. Well done. I bet they're so tired of hearing us, Matt.
That's right. Well, I'm tired of hearing you, so I can identify with how they feel.
No, shut up.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.